I remember the moment like a scar etched into my memory. I had just finished a long day at work, dragging myself home with the hope of unwinding with a simple dinner. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Clara, my wife of 4 years. I drained our joint account. I'm leaving you. Good luck surviving. At first, I thought it was some sick joke. Clara had a dark sense of humor sometimes, but never this cruel. My heart thudded, and my hands grew cold as I quickly opened my banking app. The screen confirmed my nightmare. Our account, once holding the careful savings we'd built together, now showed a balance of 17 cents. I sat down heavily on the couch. My mind reeled. Clara hadn't just left, she had stripped me bare. The apartment was eerily silent. Her closet was half empty, drawers ransacked, and the faint smell of her perfume still lingered in the bedroom. She had planned this for weeks, maybe months. And she hadn't even bothered with a face-to-face goodbye. The worst part? We had dreams. A house we were saving for, weekend getaways, whispered promises of starting a family. And now, it was all gone in a single cruel message. My best friend, Ethan, showed up after I called him in a daze. "Bro, she didn't just leave, you've been robbed," he said, his voice laced with controlled fury. I nodded weakly. But, why? Things weren't perfect, but we weren't fighting. Not like this. Ethan leaned back, studying me. Maybe she found someone else. Or maybe she's been hiding who she really is. Either way, you can't just roll over. You need to fight back. His words struck me like cold water. He was right. Sitting around wouldn't fix anything. Clara had underestimated me. The following days were a blur of legal consultations, frantic calls to the bank, and bitter discoveries. Clara had transferred every penny into an account under her name alone. Since it was a joint account, the bank's hands were tied. But Ethan, ever the strategist, pushed me to dig deeper. If she's arrogant enough to leave with a text, she'll make mistakes. You just have to find them. And then, like fate, a clue appeared. An email auto-forwarded to our shared account, a flight confirmation in Clara's name to Miami. Not just one ticket, two. She hadn't just left me. She was running away with someone else. That night, anger replaced my heartbreak. She thought she had ended me. But she had only awakened a version of me she didn't expect. I booked the earliest flight to Miami, using the last of my credit. If she thought I was going to sit back and watch her live lavishly on our money, she was dead wrong. Miami was hot, chaotic, and buzzing with life. I tracked the hotel listed on her confirmation. My stomach churned as I waited in the lobby, eyes scanning for her. And then I saw her. Clara, dressed in a new designer dress, laughing on the arm of a man I didn't recognize. Tall, slick, and with the confidence of someone who thought the world owed him everything. My fists clenched, but I forced myself to stay calm. Confrontation in the middle of a hotel wouldn't get my money back. I needed proof. I needed leverage. So I followed them, quietly, carefully. Over the next 2 days, I documented everything, their expensive dinners, shopping sprees, and the way Clara flaunted her newfound freedom. I even caught a recording of her bragging to him. David has no idea. I cleaned him out. He'll probably beg me to come back once he realizes he can't survive without me. That was the dagger. Not only had she betrayed me, she thought I was weak. But her arrogance gave me the weapon I needed. I returned home and went straight to my lawyer, armed with recordings, receipts, and a timeline. My lawyer's eyes lit up. She's committed marital theft and fraud. This isn't just divorce, it's criminal. Within weeks, Clara was served. The look on her face when we met in court was priceless. Her tan couldn't hide the shock as evidence piled against her. The judge didn't just rule in my favor, he ordered her to return every cent, plus damages. Her boyfriend, as it turned out, bailed on her the moment things got tough. Clara stood alone, humiliated, as everything she had stolen was stripped away. Months later, I sat across from Ethan at our favorite diner. You look lighter, he said, sipping his coffee. I am, I admitted. She thought she destroyed me. But all she did was free me. He grinned. Revenge looks good on you. I smiled faintly. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about survival, about proving that no matter how hard someone tried to break me, I could rise again. Clara's text had been meant as a curse. Good luck surviving. But in the end, it became my greatest motivation. Because I hadn't just survived. I had won.